when I'm looking at divination as a prolonged process, it's just to give you a heads up on what's coming and what's your do's and don'ts and all of this stuff. But mostly people who have itars, have that major Odu from their destiny or their initiated priest. A lot of initiated priests tell they're initiated, but they're not diviners. And they, too, themselves have to go to a diviner to get help. They go to a master diviner or a babalao, that they experience, and you go and you get help. So when you go there and you get the help, they say if you don't have money to do the ebo, and you could guesstimate how much the ebo is going to be. If you don't have money, don't even go to Ifa.
Exactly. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
It seems that way. If you don't have, I don't see the point. If you don't have money to do and the ebo can cost you, $700, $1,000, whatever they tell you.
That's why I'm saying that people should use divination, the divination process as a form of counseling and therapy. They should use it as a form because that way they can learn through the process to take care of themselves. You understand? To take care of themselves. So they wouldn't have that big issue, and they're running. And it's not like I'm saying stuff don't happen. Stuff happens. People do get into crises. But most of the time when people have things that are going on with them that mess up their equilibrium is because of things that they don't know about, something that they've been doing wrong. You understand? And
like you said, everybody who initiates is not a spiritual worker. Everybody who initiates, they don't have the gift of sight or whatever. Some people may initiate for their health reasons.
Yes.
Some people may initiate because it's going to give you protection, over your life.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah. So many reasons. In this country, people have an idea that you initiate and then you get a piece of paper, you put it on the wall and open a botanica. That is not why you initiate. There's so many reasons besides, to become a spiritual worker. There's so many personal reasons over your life.
I like proudly to tell people, when I went to be initiated to Orisa so many years ago, they said to me right then and there, you did not have to initiate to be a diviner. You've been doing that. You got to thank your mama and your grandmama because that is your inheritance. That's what you inherit, that gift. You see? So
exactly.
You see? And I still read like that. I still read with spirit. I don't read with
I feel if the priests tell you that your gift is going to come through initiation, that's like a red flag. If they tell you, the spirits are going to teach you all this secret knowledge and all this stuff, that's kind of, to me, a red flag. Because if you have these gifts, you do, you know it. You've had some glimpses of it, throughout your life. You already know it.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, because people have the tendency to get, once they're told a certain thing, they get this grandiose idea in their head, and they're the big witch of the century, and they start acting and doing all kind of stuff. That they do that. Let me bring on Yaba. Thank you so much. If you want to stay on, you can. Thank you so much.
So I'm going to listen now. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Ashe Abudu Boye Abushishe.
Oh, Boto, how are you this evening? I'm hearing that y'all got some good stuff going on over there.
Yes. It's well, Odette, she brought up a very good point, because a lot of people, a lot of our walls, the babalaos, sometimes the people can't meet the fees for the ebo. And she said that is the part that, because some people are even, their issue gets compounded because then they're stressed out over, well, where the hell am I going to find $9,000 to do this? Or maybe I got to initiate to save my life. Where am I going to find that money to do this? And you see? So
yeah. Well, I was listening for a while.
Yeah.
I was listening for a while I was trying to type and run my son down, with a peanut butter sandwich,
Okay.
So I finally was able to get on, to come and actually get online. But I want to say
this. Butter sandwiches too.
and grape juice, okay?
Yeah.
I wanted to piggyback on some of the things that y'all was saying about spirituality and divination. First of all, spirituality and divination is two different things. Okay. Usually when you find people that are very, very spiritual, 9 out of 10 they don't divine. They don't. And pretty much they don't try to find certain things, like get initiated in certain things because of how they feel about their spirituality. Because, like I said, spirituality is like a substance, and they have the ability to see dead people, and usually people try to tell them that is not a good thing, from different standards, from different levels of education and different society. Divination, anybody can divine. Anybody can divine because, you got tarot cards, you got all different type of methods that you can use to divine. Some people use playing cards. Some people use tea leaves. Some people use dominoes, if you learn how to work the divination systems that you pick, you don't have to be initiated, and you don't have to be spiritual, But because like when I started out at 9, understanding spirituality, I didn't know anything about no initiation. Do nothing. All I wanted to do is see if I could pull a rabbit out the hat. That was my whole thing.
That was
and
magic.
I saw dead people.
That's magic. That is magic.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing spiritual about that.
Right. See, me, I was trying to use my spirituality to make magic happen. Because I feel like if I had spirituality, my spirituality should be able to open doors and let me, pull rabbits out of hat and make my carpet fly and, and see dead people and talk to them and tell them what they can do, as well as tell people what's coming, what's not coming, their past, present, and future.
Well,
but as I got older,
that's different because being spiritual, like you said, divination and spirituality, spirituality in itself has a broad explanation. I mean, it can cover so many different things,
spirituality
from meditation to whatever,
Spirituality to me is like having this certain kind of connection to the universe. You have this certain type of connection. And it can take, like you said, it's very broad, it's very wide. It all depends on who you're talking to on any particular day and in a certain environment. Everybody's going to have their own interpretation of what spirituality is. But divination, like I said, you can use tarot cards. I've used tarot cards. I've used stones. I have used marbles. I've used pennies. Because, and this is as a child growing up, I've used pickup sticks. Yeah, I actually use pickup sticks to divine. Because I learned, I mixed different divination systems, trying to find my comfort zone, And at the same time, I didn't have to use my spirituality. I didn't have to use my sight. Of some people call it sight. You know, I didn't have to use that. But in finding a comfort zone and in the divination system, you said, okay, well, what happened to the substance? And the substance to me is the spirituality. That's the substance that is given, that gives to put the gasoline into divination.
Like
now, everybody can get initiated. Anybody can get initiated to whatever the system that you want to get initiated to. But that doesn't make you a spiritualist, and it doesn't make you a diviner. And if you're a diviner, meaning that you learn the system, if you learn the system as a diviner, instead of just mimicking or memorizing passages or verses, you actually put the substance, the gasoline into it with using your spirituality. The substance, 9 out of 10, you really don't have to use the props. You don't need props.
But this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about as spiritual divination being a spiritual form of counseling and therapy. It's the spiritual aspect that makes the divination process different. You understand? That people, if they engage in it, just like how they would learn to divine, if they engage in the divination process on the level of doing or following a prescription or following the messages that came out, they themselves will be able to connect spiritually, you understand, and be able to get something from the counseling, from the divination process that was doing. And it's a spiritual thing. Because once you tell somebody, okay, go do a ritual, you know, they're like, wow, I just need to go and throw the pumpkin in the water. Or I just need to, you know.
Well,
no.
See, this is, yeah, I understand what you're saying, because I still will look at that separately, because somehow or another, some people are not connected yet. They're really not connected. And you can say spirit, because like I had a gentleman here today, and I said, you know, you have to really get in tune. You got to get more spiritual. And he looked at me. He said, "What do you mean, Ia?" Wow. So now I have to go back and talk about the simple, fundamental things.
That is a broad thing. If you tell somebody to get spiritual, that is very broad. You know, it's very broad.
So now
I have to get more spiritual.
Right. Now I have to go back and I have to talk about spiritual 101. The different levels of developing yourself and getting deeper into yourself, connecting to your inner core that touches your higher consciousness in order for you to see beyond whatever you need to see. You know, with your eyes open, with your eyes closed, with your ears open, with your ears closed, with your mouth open or with your mouth closed. But being able to mash together and coming into with your total, truly inner core, because you have, like we call the 4 me's. I call it 4 me's. I wrote a little book on it. I did research, and it's called Kudan Theory. And what it does is, you know, we have these various levels of our existence, and that fourth existence is your spirituality, where your spirituality is harvest, where it sits, you know, just waiting for you to get there. But you have to go through certain steps and get clarity and understanding as you go along in order for you to be able to relax and go into that. But if the people are just doing divination, they can get an educational or intellectual understanding of what they're divining, what they're seeing, and whatnot. I mean, like I said, tarot cards.
That's why the rituals are, you know, I mean, that's why the rituals, okay, and in the case of, you know, the practice of African spirituality, West African spirituality, that's why these rituals and ebos are also important part of the therapy, of the divination process. So it's not just a diagnosis, it's not just a diagnosis of the problem, but it's an engagement in working this problem out. And it's done in a very spiritual way. because these rituals, the rituals that come along with the divination and the ebols that come along, these are